How's it going, guys? I know obviously I haven't been dropping content like regarding music and whatnot, and it's obvious why I haven't been in the headspace to even record and press record for like an album review or reaction because I know there's a lot more to be doing, but I don't know. I just haven't been in the headspace, and you guys can tell why, obviously. So most of the content, at least, I'll be putting on this channel and any of my channels, really, we're revolving around what's going on right now, and it's going to touch on the pulse of at least where I personally feel. At least I'm reflecting that on my platform. At least how I personally feel about what is going on right now, and I also wanted to bring the conversation that I had with my very good friend Falari from YAWA magazine. They invited me over to get, I guess it's just to hold some conversations and to talk about exactly exactly the whole spectrum of NSARS movement, what it means to us, and one of the topics that we touched on was celebrity culture and what is the role celebrities have to play at times like this. And so we went we went it was a good conversation. It was a very productive conversation, I think. And the prominent example that came up was Davido, and we already know what Davido did. Davido had tried to do, and a lot of things failed in that process for him for a lot of many factors. Okay, but yes. So in this conversation, I wanted to at least share the point that we needed celebrities to at least step up in some way or some form, because we couldn't do it by ourselves. We couldn't not necessarily have the voices just be on the streets alone. We need people that would get people on the streets. You know what I mean? So yeah, basically all of that. And if this whole thing was honestly sparked by other celebrities to run down files, so it's like again, we need them to play a major role in some sense, and we made that distinction as to how far they can go with playing a role here. So it was an interesting conversation, very productive, and we ended up somewhat coming to a conclusion together. So it was a very good conversation. Without any further ado, enjoy the clip, and I'll see you guys at the end of the video. All
Perfect,
right.
perfect.
Yeah, I was saying, like, again, we saw Black Lives Matter happen. We saw how Black Americans, how they handled the protests, right? How they were checking for everyone that was not making, especially white people, bro. Especially like people that have been able to benefit from a system that had the privilege for so long. This is
Mm,
the time that you speak up. This is time that you resonate with our cry, right? And again, Black Lives Matter was as a result of a race issue in America,
mm,
right? And in Nigeria, in the context of Nigeria, all of us being the same race, obviously it's not a race issue there. So it becomes, again, I've said it in the previous video, it becomes something more of a class issue,
mm,
because most of what like triggers these SARS officers is the fact that who are you to be having an iPhone? Who are you to be like,
mm,
and I'm out here not being able to feed my kids and whatnot. So they see regular Nigerians. They look at middle class, like working class Nigerians having iPhones, having cars and whatnot, and they say like, bro, you shouldn't. They feel entitled to say, okay, I think you are a fraudster. I think you've done bad things to get the little that you have here. So I
mm,
would use the authority that has been given over to me by the government and come here and oppress you, and use my little cheeky ways of extorting you in that process.
mm,
And I feel like they won't give this energy to the elites. They won't give this energy to people that have names, people that have clout, the people that have standard in society. Because many of these celebrities and the elites, they even hire like police officers to secure them. So I mean, so that it becomes a class issue in that sense. And I feel like in a way, celebrities have become the white people in this situation. In a way, I know like they're
mm,
the white
mm,
people situation are also the elders in another context of age gap. Most of the people are being oppressed are young people. So the elderlies, the olds, as people like to say, are in some sense the more privileged people in this context. Another context is obviously class too, because white people, the white people in this situation, celebrities, and it means a lot for them because again, these celebrities, again, social media too, they have
mm,
millions of followers in many of the contexts, man. Having such an empowering tool to use, like we'll definitely checking on you to say, okay, you have to say something about it. You have to resonate with that my cry at this point, because I'm sure in some sense you have the clout to get away with any SARS interaction. They know you, they know your face, so you can easily it's better boy, is whiskey, do you know what I mean, or gala, you know those things. They can easily walk away out of situations. Meanwhile, regular people cannot. Do you know what I mean? And it's like you have to say something. You have to use your platform. And I've seen how the Black Americans held people accountable in those positions to say, look, you have to show at least that this dude, there was a knee on some guy's neck for 8 minutes, bro. You have to say something. And we've seen the killings too. We've seen the graphic images of people getting shot at, people's bloods on the streets of Lagos and other places, or Ogbomoso. And you're saying you're not going to resonate or speak up for that. Like, bro, we have to check you, and we have to at least know that you have some empathy in you, because it's not something that, it goes back to that social interest that Ken was talking about, man. Like, if there is no, we will tell if you don't care about the society, just profit off of the cloud that you want to get convenient. You know what I mean? We're not here for convenience, bro. Like, let's actually hold you accountable to the fact that you can use your tool, you can get this message out there, make the right calls. It doesn't have to be you physically being on the street itself. You have clout with the higher ups. You're closer to them than we are. Make the right calls. In fact, make the policies, man. Like,
there is so much that you have said right now. I don't even know where to begin unpacking, but I want to start with this. Gunnar just dropped a comment that said that we have been oppressed for so long that we have no other social language as a people.
Yeah.
And I just kind of want to take that in as a the language in which we seek our freedom is the same as which today it was back in the day.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. The analogy you draw of like our social elite being the white people in this scenario is basically you're just talking about privilege.
Yeah,
right?
Privilege.
It's basically privilege, right? You're just basically talking about the ability of somebody to be shielded from the oppression of the regular folks by whatever status our society has given them. White people in this society is the fact is their skin color, but back home it's status because you're a singer or you're some other person. And it's status because of something else, but it's the privilege you get or you have because you not that you have because of something, but you have, and then it leads to you being able to avoid the kind of oppression that we have, right? Like scales will not be held by SARS in the same way that you and I might be. I don't even know why I picked scales.
Scales are interesting. But yeah.
I'm like, look at your eyes, you're like, scales, nigga?
I'm like, yeah,
I'm so scared.
I mean, I'll take it, but for sure. Like, I mean,
I'm so sorry to
if we were in 2011, I mean.
Yeah. That's funny. No, but I hear your point, which is that like essentially celebrities are almost shielded, and then therefore we kind of have this like unspoken. We give them this unspoken, what's the word? Power that like almost like you have access to the elite because you have been elevated in social status, so therefore you should speak.
Yeah.
Right. And I think the conversation we were having on the phone was kind of like, yeah, they might have this access, but are they really the right people?
Again, I feel like I don't care because no, I do not care because they might not be like looking at Davido up there in the meeting with the IGP. It feels wrong in theory. It feels like, yo, why is this guy here? Like it feels definitely wrong in theory, right? But at the end of the day, it's the goal that matters, right? If he has a similar goal as we are, that are typing and making noise about it, and he's going there with that same agenda. He's carrying the agenda that we've made noise about, and he's going in there with, again, he's not the right person. He doesn't. He has all the right words to say. It's very, very scary territory to say, okay, David, don't go there. by the end of the day, it's a shot worth taking. Do you know what I mean? It's a shot worth taking. It's like, what else do we have to lose to, like, again, Davido going out there embarrassing himself? He embarrasses himself if he does. The flip side is he actually makes change, like impacts change, makes policies, talking directly face to face to the people that actually make some calls. And I'm not even going to say, like, he was at least was a huge part into what sparked the first announcement that, okay, they've disbanded SARS, because he actually met with one of those ones. So
Can I
I don't know.
challenge? Can I challenge you for a second?
Please,
I think
let's
that
go.
I think that there's you're coming from the perspective of the people, which is that, like, you know what, we don't care who the rep is. This is our most visible guy. Take him.
Yeah.
I am not in, like, I don't oppose, or I don't feel like that is wrong in any sort of way from the people, right? But here's where I would counter. I think that if you are a celebrity of status, right, or if you are somebody you've managed in your lifetime to elevate yourself, you become more aware of not only what is in the world, but you become more aware of your place in it, right?
Yeah.
And I think Davido is very, very aware of his place in the music industry. He knows that he's one of the big three. He knows he's bad. He knows all of those things about the music industry.
Right.
Here's my challenge. If you understand that society, from a societal perspective, right, you are elevated, you should also understand what you are capable and what you have the knowledge and experience to be able to deliver. So if I'm someone who is popular, because that's the word, you're like, right? He's popular, right? And something like this comes to my desk, I'm going to go find somebody who's educated. I'm not trying to have the conversation myself. I'm like, you know what? Let me get the hype, Abi. No wala.
Right.
No wala. Let me get the hype. Okay, cool. Who is smarter? Who can speak better about these topics? Who can actually drive change that is not me? And then get them in on the conversation. That is true leadership. That is you actually paying attention to the moment. But I think, again, as men,
the way you say as men.
Yo, honestly, I'm gonna connect it back to this, bro. I'm gonna connect it back to this.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
We are ego driven as people, and so
Yeah,
Davido feels that, like, now me sabi, like, make a
yeah,
go, man, yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Don't be me.
That's fair. But again, if a woman did what Davido is doing, would you have the same problem?
Did a woman do what Davido did?
Wait, what Davido did is not because, again, this goes back to a systemic issue now about how we place women in society. Unfortunately, we don't have any woman that is one of the big three. Do you know what I mean? In the industry. Unfortunately, it's the nature of the industry. So unfortunately, none of them are in that position as Davido. So we can't necessarily compare a woman with Davido, because again, it's a position of status now.
So I would disagree and say we're not comparing a woman in the position of Davido. Like, that's not the comparison we're doing, right? I think that, sure, there's no woman in the big three, but they are popular Nigerian women who are pop stars, film stars, whatever.
And they've been on the streets too.
And they've been on the streets. But what I like, actually, let me just make this a broader conversation, right? If I think about all of the times that I've gone online and thought, like, why is this celebrity, like, fucking up, quote unquote, for lack of a better term? It's always been like some male celebrity versus bar Ronke Raji, who actually did not know who she was prior to this moment. But, like, it's really mostly been like men in, like, slightly higher positions who are, like, doing shit out of tone or out of key with what the moment is. And, like, again, I'm not criticizing
Unfortunately,
Davido. I'm not criticizing Davido because I really, like, think that he had best intentions or whatever. He was just out of his depth in that moment, right? But what I feel inherently is that, like, yo, if there was a mad popular woman in Davido's position, I don't know that this is true. I'm not saying that I know this is true, but I feel like somebody may have reached out and issued me like, okay, no, go talk to this organizer because they're better for this than I am. Whereas Davido, being who he is, right, and, like, feeling that he has an inherent right place in this conversation, went ahead. Yeah, now me go come talk about.
To be fair to
And
Davido, he
it's just
wasn't
like,
the only one in the room. He didn't
and he
go. He
wasn't,
didn't go.
obviously he wasn't the only one. There are a litany of examples of men who have done it in a less good way, and therefore
Yeah.
they are being clowned, right? But I can't. It's very difficult for me to clown him because I feel like he was operating 100% on like best interest and all that jazz. But when I was hearing that interview, it was just like, bro, this sounds like somebody who's way out of his depth, and you can't hate that. You can just
I won't disagree with you. The time where it got out of depth for me was when he said something on the lines that the inspector general gave him the authority to make an independent panel. That's why I was like, okay, wait, this doesn't like you understand that we're going, yeah.
Yeah.
We are going there to be a face of a movement in one way or the other to represent the people. Again, the line starts to like
blur a little.
That starts to blur when it starts saying, "Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be setting up an authority." That's when the argument. That's when the argument that you were making before, when it comes to capability, is like okay. That's when you can pass the baton to someone else now. Like you can. Yeah.
As a celebrity, I feel like it's your job maybe to raise awareness and raise attention.
Yes.
And then if you're skilled, you can continue as a advocate.
Yes, but then again, sorry.
If I ever see George Clooney running for fucking Senate, it's like, why are you here, bro?
I disagree with you, bro. I disagree with you.
Okay,
I disagree.
Fair enough.
You're basically making the argument, shut up and dribble. You're basically making taking that argument right now. You're saying it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter like whatever it is, like whatever lane that you're in, whatever we know you for, stick to that. That's what you're basically saying. No. Because you're saying
no. Because
like
actually, no. Can I challenge you?
Okay.
If Fowles runs for office today, it's a different conversation.
Yes, exactly. I was about to bring up Fowles.
Yeah, so why are you talking like that?
No.
We're talking about Davido, who doesn't fucking write lyrics, fam.
No, bro, come on, man. I can't even dismiss this man's intelligence.
Okay, you know what?
But no.
That was me going left.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the sense that we can't write him off immediately just because we know him as Davido. Like it doesn't matter. I'm saying the fact that Fowles can have a strong voice from a social conscious point of view, and we even see that in his music, doesn't mean Davido cannot all of a sudden be enraged, be inspired by what is going on in the streets. The same way I'm being inspired right now. I won't say Davido cannot be inspired. Like what else? Like Davido can be inspired.
Absolutely.
And actually go on and be in a better position to do that thing than I am. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day.
Can I add something to the last thing you said?
Okay.
He's in a better position, but I believe that he's in a better position to raise awareness and pass the baton to somebody who's better educated.
That one I agree with you when it comes to setting up the panel, going into the technical part of things. Obviously, a good leader would surround himself with exactly good people. I definitely agree with you.
Okay, cool.
But I feel like you were shutting Davido off even from the fact of like getting into the room with the IGP. No. That's what I was.
Okay, no. I would say that like, listen, I don't fuck with Davido as a musician. Anybody who knows me knows that.
Okay,
right?
Interesting. But I'm sure you danced some Davido songs.
No, 100%. No, I fuck with his spirit.
Okay.
Because his spirit as a musician is that, I will give you jams. You go dance. Yeah, you get it. He doesn't pretend to be like fucking Michael Jackson. You get what I mean? He's who he is.
Yes,
he exalts that. You get it. That's why I even clicked play on his video to listen to his comment on this, because I respect him in that regard, right? But it became clear, and that's why I used the term out of his depth, not he's wrong.
Yeah.
He was just out of depth. And I feel that if you are paying attention to the zeitgeist, to what this moment is asking for, you pass that ball.
Bro, I think we're saying the same thing.
We're one same page. We've come two ways at it. I know where to get on this. Bro.
Having a leader surrounding himself with everything. But then again, it's important. Like you cannot dismiss the amount of reach that he has. Like you cannot.
No, I'm not dismissing.
We cannot dismiss the fact that we have to look to people in his positions to care. If they don't care, bro,
if they don't care,
That's
it's a problem.
That's a
It's
bar.
a
That's a bar.
problem. Hands
That's a
are
bar.
tied in some sense.
That's a bar. I'll let you have that particular win. On it's important for them to care.
Bro, they have to.
It's
Every
very important
movement,
because they have reached that it's almost
bro.
unimaginable in our society, right?
But they have something to do on.
And I'll hold on to my W that you care until you get to the committee meetings and then you pass that.
The technical again, we're all talking about awareness.
You Magic Johnson that you just
exactly.
yeah, like you love it and you pass that. Okay,
we agree for sure. Like it's
Emmanuel. Incredible to have you on, man. Like I honestly, like I feel like I could have this debate for another 30 minutes.
No, for sure. I feel like
I don't have 30 minutes. Like I kind of want to leave. I kind of want to leave us with this, which is that like who our idols,
okay,
who we exalt, is so key. Who we put up to a pedestal is so key as a society. And so what when you brought this up, it kind of reminded me of this, which is that like we're in a moment where we have to be careful about who we give a platform to. We have to be careful about who we exalt.
Again, it's back to what Lily said,
which is
lead without permission.
Let's go, right?
It said lead without. We can't. It's not in our place to dictate who is supposed to be the leader, right? It's not, like I don't think we've.
That's not what I said.
I know. But I'm saying no. I'm not saying but it's not in our place to like have an approval. There's no approval stamp on who can lead or who cannot. Do you know what I mean? It's if you are taking the position, if you show that you care, then why not? We'll fall in line. Like
until you fuck up and then.
Yeah, like
that's what I mean.
Again, there needs to be accountability in any form of leadership. There needs to be accountability. We'll call you out if you're misbehaving. We'll call you out if we're seeing things going left. Exactly. Like there has to be accountability. But then again, we need a front.
We need you to care.
We need a front. We need someone to at least get open.
I'm going to resign to this, and I think you're right. We are at a moment where caring and empathy and action from that empathy is the most important thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave you with that W because it feels like you need one. Yeah, at least you got that one. Yo, thank you for coming.
Dope conversation, man. Like
it's been fire. I want to plug Fumi in before I take whoever wants to come and tell me their stories from the comments. Osage, if you're still on, I know that you have a couple of sad stories, so I know you want to talk to me. But like, Emmanuel, thank you so much, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much for watching that, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and definitely share your opinion, share your thought process in the middle of the conversation. Falarian's always been a great person to have a good conversation with, and you should definitely check out his podcast, 2 Peas in a Pod, and the whole YAWA magazine. I love what they're doing there, so definitely go check it out. And the Uncomfortable Conversation series, the whole night, the whole live was so many good speakers. Taiwo and Kim, amazing speakers. Go check it out. You don't want to miss this one, man. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'll be uploading as much as I can right now in terms of like music and whatnot. I guess when I feel better and in a better place, and then you find me putting out content around music. But as for now, this is content that we need to keep the conversation going for. Thank you so much for watching again. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.